The visitor. It was the middle of November when Sarah moved into the old farmhouse. The house sat on the edge of a small, sleepy town, surrounded by acres of overgrown fields and dense woods. It had been abandoned for years, left to the mercy of time and weather. But Sarah saw potential in it. She wanted a fresh start, and the isolation was part of the appeal. A place to heal, to be alone, to forget. The first night was calm. Sarah unpacked a few boxes and lit a fire in the hearth. The crackle of the wood was soothing, and the wind outside felt distant. By the time she fell asleep, exhaustion had washed over her like a heavy blanket. But that peace didn't last. Around midnight, Sarah was jolted awake by a soft thudding noise. At first, she thought it was just the house settling. The kind of creaks and groans that come with old buildings. But the sound came again, steady. Deliberate thud. 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 It was coming from downstairs. Heart pounding, Sarah grabbed the flashlight from her bedside table. She tried to calm her breathing as she crept down the stairs. The beam of light cutting through the darkness. The house was still, the fire in the hearth reduced to glowing embers. Thud. Thud. The sound was closer now. And as Sarah followed it, she realized it was coming from the front door. Like someone, or something, was knocking. But just barely. She hesitated, her hand hovering over the doorknob. Who would come here in the middle of the night? No one knew she lived here yet, except for the real estate agent. Still, maybe it was a lost traveler, or some teenager pulling a prank. She took a deep breath and opened the door. No one was there. The wind rushed in, cold and biting. But there was no sign of any person. No footsteps in the thin layer of frost that had settled on the porch. Sarah shivered, more from the eerie stillness than the cold, and quickly shut the door. She locked it this time, double-checking before retreating upstairs. Her nerves were frayed, but she forced herself to climb back into bed. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows. But no more sounds came. The next morning, Sarah shook off the night's events as just her mind playing tricks on her. It was a new place, an old house. Of course, it would take time to adjust. She spent the day clearing out cobwebs, patching holes, and unpacking more of her belongings, but that night, the knocking returned. Thud. Thud. Thud.